Hero soldier returns home from service to find the most shocking sight. The family dog wags his tail so hard his whole body shakes. The kids turn off the Xbox and jump with joy. Then the spouse comes in for that tearful, happy hug. A soldier returning home from service is a triumphant, picturesque affair, one that's nearly magic. Or, at least it should be.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
When one National Guardsman returned to his home after a dangerous stint of hurricane relief, he probably anticipated that lovely magical moment, the happy dog, the elated son, and the tearful girlfriend. Instead, however, he noticed some things about his house were not quite right. Army medic Luis Ocampo lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, with his girlfriend Kaylee Finch and their son Lucian. Luis served in the North Carolina National Guard, and in September 2018, duty called him into action. Hurricane Florence, a Category 1 storm, smacked the coast with heavy winds and torrential rain, flooding cities and destroying homes. The Guard deployed Luis to the riverfront city of New Bern, which the storm hit particularly hard. While Luis and his local soldiers navigated the storm's aftermath, helping anyone who needed water, food, or what have you, 20-year-old Kaylee and Lucian headed for a place they would feel safer without Luis around. Specifically, she took her soon to Luis's parents' house so she wouldn't be alone for days. She left the family dog at home, where she checked in on him periodically. For a few days, the family lived like this, away from home and apart. On September 21st, Luis returned home from his brief stint in New Bern. After helping people piece their lives back together, he expected at least a few hours for himself. But once at home, he did not receive a hero's welcome. With Kaylee still at his parents' house, Luis arrived at home only to be greeted by a curious sight. The dog, who'd been home all by himself, was running around in the front yard. Even more curious was that the back door had been left wide open. Either the dog taught himself a new trick and opened the door himself, or someone who should not have opened that back door. Gulp. Most telling of all, however, was that the window in his son's bedroom was propped open. Someone busted the lock with a nearby shovel and crawled into the home. They weren't still inside, were they? Luis entered his house through the wide-open back door and looked around. There was, thankfully, no one still inside the home. But that was just about the only positive the soldier could take away from what he saw. The intruder flung clothes everywhere. They stole a laptop Luis kept all of his schoolwork on. They stole a video game system, a firearm, and even swiped food from the refrigerator. And they didn't stop there. The thieves took a box of coins Luis's grandmother collected from around the world, something immensely sentimental to the 24-year-old. After surveying the damage, all he could do was stick his face in his hands. This was how Kaylee found her soldier when she returned home. Wanting to do something to help, she turned to Facebook and wrote a status that she didn't know would eventually change their lives. "This soldier, my soldier," Kaylee wrote, "lost everything of importance. We are trying to get the word out and see if anyone has any information about who may have taken it. Please share and see what we can find out." A friend of Kaylee's, Mary Elise Capron, saw the post and felt an overwhelming sense of grief for the couple she loved dearly. She'd worked closely with Luis over the years and knew him as an amazing soldier and person. Mary wanted to help, so she set up a GoFundMe. "I am honored to know, Luis," she wrote, "and cannot believe something so terrible could happen to someone so dedicated to the service, his family, and school." Mary set a fundraising goal of $5,000. That, she figured, would be plenty to replace the laptop and firearm, and to repair the broken bedroom window. Eventually, donations flooded in, and they wouldn't stop. In 11 days, the GoFundMe raised thousands for the couple, who eventually asked Mary to shut down the fundraiser. They were making too much money, they argued, and didn't want to abuse people's generosity. But the public actually asked Mary to reopen the fundraiser after she shut it down at the couple's behest. They wanted to help out this woebegone soldier. This made Luis uncomfortable, so he and Mary worked out another plan. Delighted with the public's enthusiasm to help a soldier in need, Luis, Kaylee, and Mary redirected new donations to Soldiers and Airmen Assistance Fund, which helps local guardsmen facing hardships. The couple even gave some of the donation money, which totaled nearly $15,000, to a soldier who'd been living in a hotel after a Hurricane Florence brought a tree down on his home. Luis and Kaylee turned a disaster into a positive moment. A big part of wanting to give the donations comes from seeing how generous people have been, Luis said. And I wanted to pay that back to someone else who needed help. Over 1 million people were forced to evacuate in preparation for Florence, but of those displaced by the storm, Ashley Gilland and her fiancé David Greer, along with Luis, found their journey away from home to be especially difficult. Residents of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Ashley and David were on the fence about abandoning their apartment in favor of staying with family in Sarasota, Florida. But with Ashley soon expecting the couple's first child, they were unwilling to risk the safety of their budding family. The storm was fast approaching their coastal hometown, leaving them little time to prepare for evacuation. Taking only the essentials and a few pairs of clean clothes, the couple hastily sealed up their apartment and hit the road. The traffic was bumper to bumper as Ashley and David made the grueling 10-hour, 600-mile trip from Myrtle Beach to Sarasota. As soon as they arrived, Florence made landfall just 2 hours north of their apartment. Questions swirled in the couple's head as every news channel ran around-the-clock coverage of the storm's destructive path. What would become of their apartment? Where would they go from here? As Florence only seemed to grow in intensity, things looked bleak for Ashley and David. In an attempt to take their minds off the storm, Ashley and David turned off the TV and grabbed a bite to eat. The couple decided on Sarasota's own wings and weenies. After all, who could be sad while eating chicken wings? With their stomachs full and hearts a little lighter, the pair exited the restaurant and headed back to their car. But their relief was short-lived, as a large note stuck to the car's windshield made their stomachs sink once again. Naturally, Ashley assumed the note was about her park job. Sure, she wasn't the greatest at parking, but there were definitely much worse parkers out there. But as Ashley read the note, her eyes immediately filled with tears. "I saw your license plate is from South Carolina," the note read. "I'm not sure if you evacuated from the storm, but just know Florida is praying for you and your state. When we had Hurricane Irma, we evacuated to Alabama and received a similar letter on our car because of our Florida license plate. So I wanted to pass it on. We understand how it feels to evacuate," the note concluded. As they finished reading, the couple realized that the kind stranger had also left cash and a Walmart gift card. Never had the couple experienced such kindness from a stranger before, and they knew they couldn't let this good deed go unnoticed. Rushing home, Ashley took to Facebook to share the amazing discovery with her friends. "This just made my day," Ashley wrote. "I'm so happy to know there are still great people in the world." But as news of Ashley's good fortune spread throughout her friend group, she never expected how far the post would reach. After only a few days, Ashley's post went viral, accumulating 9,000 likes and over 10,000 shares. The thrill of Ashley's sudden fame helped relieve some of her worry over the state of affairs back home, but it was an unexpected message from a fellow Facebook user that really took the experience to a whole new level. Chelsea Token, an elementary school teacher from Fort Worth, Florida, reached out to Ashley to let her know that she was the one that wrote the note. Contacting her directly, Chelsea wanted to reiterate why she had acted so kindly in the first place. "The thing that got me through Hurricane Irma was the kindness of everyone in and out of my state," Chelsea explained in her messages with Ashley. "Just knowing people really do care makes some things so devastating feel so small. A simple act of kindness can really turn someone's day around." Chelsea's words sparked a conversation between the two women, and Ashley took the opportunity to thank her personally for the note and gift. "I wish I could have met you, and I wish I could have returned the favor," the 21-year-old wrote. "Just know, I will be paying it forward and will be keeping this chain going." Ashley soon shared their conversation online. This time, however, Ashley began attracting attention from news media outlets, with even Fox News reaching out about her story. "I was overwhelmed and automatically started thinking about how I could pay it forward for someone else, Ashley told Fox News. The smallest gestures can make the biggest impacts on people's lives. Please share this with your friends and family.